What is good, people? It's Roku, and today I want to talk about some Code Vein. The trailer just got released, along with the release date, along with the collector's edition and other editions that you can get that give you like the soundtrack, the art book. You already know I'm gonna try to cop the collector's edition. It's in the perfect time, near the end of the year, or not near the end of the year, but near the summer, the end of the summer. Yeah, now that I know when Code Vein is coming out, I can assume that God Eater is not coming out before Code Vein, and therefore I am able to do my God Eater Resurrection playthrough and have a clean, solid God Eater Burst / Resurrection playthrough up on my channel, along with God Eater 2, and then soon God Eater 3. So you already know what Code Vein is. It's the Dark Souls God Eater, Bandai Namco's babies, fused together. I don't really know if they're babies. I mean, I think God Eater is great. I think it's the best thing Bandai Namco ever created, but that's just my opinion. But I haven't played too many of Dark Souls games. I've played one, maybe, I think it was Demon Souls, whatever the first one is on PS3. I played that. I didn't really get too far into it because there was nothing motivating me to play a game that was that fucking hard, because it was so hard, dude. Getting to that dungeon, this castle, was like a castle or something. It was so difficult. There was nothing motivating me to do it. But Code Vein, just after watching all these trailers and reading up on it, reading up on the articles and the news that came out, I just got so hyped for it. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to accept that difficulty. And Bandai Namco is known for that, even with the God Eater games. Like, I haven't even scratched the surface on how difficult those can be. The Kyuubi is the worst I've fought. I know there's still the Blitz Hannibal. I've never fought that. I never even dreamed of. I didn't even know it existed. I didn't even know that thing existed. But yeah, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready for the difficulty. I'm ready to accept the difficulty, as long as it comes along with this great game and this seemingly really good, interesting looking scenario that is in this game. But that's another thing, the scenario, and a lot of other things about Code Vein that seem very similar to God Eater. Oh my God, there's this nigga mowing the lawn outside. Bitch, shut the fuck up. There are similarities between this game and God Eater, apart from the obvious ones that people see, like the Io, I think her name is, in this game. She's very similar looking to Shio, but that's not all. I'll get into those later. But about this game, what I'm hyped for, obviously I'm hyped for the characters, or the game, the story, the gameplay, the characters. But the two biggest things that probably draw me to this, aside from that, well, actually I'll say three. The three biggest things that draw me to this game would be the soundtrack, which I'm pretty sure is done by Go Shina, the composer for God Eater. He did something different with, like, you can still hear that it's like him. It sounds like God Eater music somewhat, but like, it's on a different level, okay? God Eater's music is great. God Eater 2 had really good music, but dog, this shit goes in, okay? And listen to any of the trailers. You'll feel it. You'll feel it. The second thing would be fighting the enemies. I always liked the Dark Souls style of fighting, where you can't just, it's not just super fast and you can't just do anything you want like in God Eater. Like, God Eater's combat is pretty fast for that type of game. Like, compared to Monster Hunter, that's why I like Monster Hunters. Well, I like both of them a lot, but I don't know. I feel like in Monster Hunter you get a better sense of caution because it's slower and the monsters do more damage. It can do a lot of damage in like one instance, and that's what I like about Dark Souls. So I'm really gonna enjoy that about this. The third thing that interests me about Code Vein is that you can acquire weapons and upgrade them, I think, even by finding them in the field. And that's something that Breath of the Wild, that really drew me in about Breath of the Wild and a lot of other open world games, even though Code Vein was stated to not be open world. But I just like that idea of being able to go out and like find a ton of weapons and just like have them all be decent, instead of you know, the whole monster, even you don't even drop, like, the monsters don't even drop, or the losts in Code Vein don't even drop items, I don't think. So how would you even, yeah, or you could buy them, I guess, but still, you can still upgrade your weapons at the home base. But I just like the idea of being able to go out and find them and equip them. You can equip them and other equipment on the fly, like out when you're out in the field. That's another thing that really interests me. But on to the similarities between Godyr. Like I said, the character Io is very similar looking to the character Shio. I don't know, from the trailer, she doesn't seem like her personality is similar to Shio's. But other than that, the first thing I want to talk about is the setup, or the setting of the two, of Godyr and Code Vein. So, you know, they're pretty much like, they both can be summarized as the world encounters a supernatural disaster that humans try to use that disaster as a way to empower themselves to combat the disaster, if that makes any sense. Like, they find something about that disaster that they can use to strengthen certain people, the God Eaters and the Revenant, to fight against that disaster. But good thing is, though, Code Vein takes us in a different direction, to where it actually has a conflict within the process of making that counter to the disaster. And that's where the story gets really interesting, in my point. So early in the timeline of the game, there is a project called the Queen Project, which is looking to create a soldier or revenant able to combat against the monsters that come with the calamity that happens at the earliest part in the game's timeline. The Queen Project pretty much tries to eliminate the bloodthirst of the Revenants, because they are vampires. So in that project, there was a girl who was part of it, who was the test subject, who pretty much went crazy because of the project. It was a failed project. She went crazy because of it, and now she's able to make Revenants into Losts, which is when a Revenant loses control of his bloodlust, I believe. Not only that, Revenants also, or the characters in Code Vein also have to worry about the original monsters that came with the calamity, the Queen being able to turn them into Losts, possibly, or control Losts, and the Lost themselves. And not only there's another thing, the red mist surrounding the area that Revenants live in is another thing that they got to deal with. So there's just a lot of conflicts that stem from each other and are caused from, you know, past conflicts. That's why that's another thing I like about it a lot, is that I'm ready to get into it and like see them unfold, see all of these linked conflicts unfold. And the last thing I want to talk about is my process in terms of how I came to the conclusion that I'm going to buy this game. Not only am I going to buy this game, but I'm going to get the collector's edition, whatever the highest edition I can get is, with the most stuff. You better believe it. My process, pretty much whenever I buy any game within the last 5 years, this has been my thought process. 5%. Does the game sound good? 3%. Does the game look good? 2%. Does the game play good? That's 10% right there. The other 90% are the girls bad. I'm gonna put all the girls that I see that are bad, that I think are bad, on the screen one after another. Don't look me straight in the face and tell me they ain't snacks. Don't. Ooh, I know there's gonna be that one nigga. Don't try to tell me they ain't snacks, dog. They're borderline meals, dog. They are borderline Coco? What? Io? Dog. There's this one screenshot where she's on a bed, dog. She is thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Don't lie to me. This is 90% of the game picking process. And if you don't believe it, if you think it's some bull, you're a nigga.